guys, it's Joel and welcome back to the channel. Now today, well, it's quite clear that this isn't the United Kingdom. It's November, the sun is shining, I'm in a t-shirt and it's like 85 degrees, 30 degrees centigrade. And there's a 2017 C7 Corvette Stingray right behind me. That is my rental car for this week, or it has been my rental car for this week. I've been out here in California and we've driven it up to San Francisco and all the way back down to LA. And today we're hitting up some canyon roads because I thought it would be a good idea to do a little review of this car after having it for a week or so. It's not really long enough to know everything about the car. I certainly don't know the ins and outs of this car. But I thought you guys might find it interesting to hear my perspective on it as someone who drives a Z4 for a daily. And you know, it's something a lot more powerful than what I'm used to. And you know what, I just want to take it for a blast up some canyons. But anyway, let me just quickly show you around the car. Obviously it's in a white colour, it's not clean. My favourite feature, you're looking at it right now, those quad exhausts at the back. It just looks so menacing, almost like a Aventador SV, and it sounds ridiculous as well, but we'll get onto that later in the video. Coming round the side, we're on silver wheels. They don't look too silver at the moment because, well, again, it's quite dirty and I think there's a fair bit of brake dust caught up on the alloys. But yeah, quite a classy spec if you see it from the side on, like white with silver alloys. Interior wise, it's red interior, very nice, again, contrast with the white paintwork. And again, a little bit more about what's on the interior later in the video. Not too much really. 2 seats, a bit of storage. We've got the roof off, as you can see, which actually sits in the back under where the trunk pops up. Actually, if I just do this, you'll be able to see. This is the roof, and that just sits in there. It's a little bit of a pain to get in, but actually after doing it a few times, it gets easier. And yeah, still ample storage underneath there. And I will talk about this more as I drive the car in the video about the performance and stuff, but it would be stupid not to show you the engine. You can see the doors have been well kept. Let me just pop the trunk, or the, what is it, the hood. And we can see, right under here, this is the lump that powers this car. It's a 6.2 litre V8. You okay? 6.2 litre V8, 460 horsepower, 0 to 60 under 4 seconds. It'll probably do almost 200. It's pretty ridiculous. That's it, a bit bigger than my Z4 engine, so pretty cool as well. But like I say, I'll probably be repeating myself in a minute, so I won't talk too much about it now, but I thought I'd show you, so there it is. And yeah, I think all in all, very nice looking car. I actually really like the way this car looks. Let me know in the comments what you think. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up now, I'm gonna drive it, because the weather's amazing. This road is actually incredible. Thank you so much to Wade, one of my viewers, for sending me an email with this as a suggestion. So amazing. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up, I'm gonna get in the car, I'm gonna drive it, and I'm gonna tell you what it's like on these roads. So, should we do it?
I've been scoring, cheap thrills, bore me, blah blah, you bore me, caution, warning. I've been scoring, caution, warning.
So, what is this car then? It's a 2017 C7 Corvette Stingray. I believe it's a Z51. And it is the 1LT trim. I think I'm correct in that. I'm pretty sure that just specifies what sort of spec options you get on it. There's a fair few. Got cruise control, obviously got this gearbox, which we'll talk about in a minute, and it's got a removable hardtop roof, which you put in the boot, which works well, but it can be a little bit annoying. Also have a big infotainment screen in the middle, which is pretty Chevrolet. And to be honest, not much else. It's pretty basic kit. There's a few adjustments I can make over here on the driver's side, but again, we'll talk about them shortly. In terms of performance, we've got a 6.2 litre V8 engine up front. That makes 460 brake horsepower, and that gives this car a 0 to 60 time claimed of, I think, 3.7 or 3.8 seconds. Also says that this car will go on to do 190 odd miles per hour, which is certainly not something I'm going to be able to find out for myself, especially on these roads, but it does feel very fast, I have to say. over the week or so that we have had this hire car, we've done a mix of driving. I say we, I'm here with my friend Charlie this week. We've done lots of highway driving, lots of city driving, and a little bit of this canyon driving as well. And I have to say that the Corvette has been good in most situations. It's certainly not bad at all for cruising in traffic when you just leave it in automatic drive mode. And it's certainly a GT setup, which means that when you're just munching up miles on the highways out here in America, it does that very comfortably as well. However, the most interesting one, of course, is how it handles being pinned by me on these canyon, twisty, bumpy, uneven roads. And the answer is pretty well. My main issue with this car, and you can probably see this coming, is the gearbox. It's just not very good. It's a very delayed gearbox. I believe it's just a torque converter gearbox, nothing special, with a manual, obviously, paddle option. And it is just very, very delayed. The downshifts, as you can see there, take a little while to take effect. Upshifts, not so bad when you're really on the throttle, but when you're sort of somewhere in between cruising and flooring it, it's pretty laborious to use. Worst of all though is the lurchiness when you're downshifting, especially when you're on the brakes. If you downshift into first, it likes to lurch forward, and that almost speeds you up again, which is not exactly what you want. So that would be the main thing letting this car down as a whole, but especially on a road like this. Now there are more positives about this car that I've got to say actually than negatives. So the first one has to be the sound that it makes. This is obviously a naturally aspirated V8, 6.2 litres, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. When you're on it and you upshift, it makes little fart noises like you might find in a Golf R, and that's very, very addictive and fun. But just the general sound when you accelerate and cold start this car in particular, absolutely fantastic. I love it. The other thing that I'm surprised by, pleasantly, is the handling. I haven't driven a massive amount of cars, but I've driven mid-engine, front-engine, rear-engine, and for a big front-engine lump, this does turn in tremendously well. And I find that the steering feel is about what you want. Steering's not too heavy, it's not too light, and once you are halfway around a corner, you do feel very connected with the front of the car. Now I don't know too much, this being a rental, about what tyres this is on, conditioning, things like that. But as a whole, this car is very nice to throw around a corner, and it's absolutely fast enough as well to push you up a canyon road like this. So here's the other thing that I like about this car. It's actually the driver's display. So I've got it in track mode right now, because in track see that lurchy gear change, that's where it's annoying. In track mode, supposedly the exhaust is a little bit louder, steering's a little bit stiffer, amongst a few other things. But yes, you can change the displays. If I use this button down here, move it into sport, you'll see in a few seconds that I get a big rev counter. There it is, which is actually what I'd been using for most of the week before I realised you could change it. And then you've also got one other display which is in tour mode, and you'll be able to see once I'm around this corner, looks like so. This one's a little bit strange because it doesn't have a speedo, but obviously on the left you've got a big analog speedo which goes up to 200, which is pretty cool. Fuel counts on the right and some temperatures. But yeah, my favourite of course is track mode, not just for the display but of course how it drives. You do also have the option to look at a load of performance information, and the one that catches my eye in particular is this one, the accelerate to start timer. I presume this is just a 0 to 60 timer, so I think it'd be rude not to give this one a go. Right, well this isn't going to be a 0 to 60 because I'm on a canyon road and there's no straights, but let's just see how this works. So plant the throttle. Nothing happens. I think you've probably got to make it to 60 miles an hour for that to work. Maybe I'll give it another go in a second. Okay, who's ready? Traction off. Let's go. That was rubbish. 4.9 seconds. I don't think I got off to the best start there. As the first 30 miles an hour was sideways. Maybe we'll give it one more go. Last try. Yes! 4 seconds. I mean, admittedly, we're on quite a steep downhill, but you know, we're at elevation, it's 81 degrees outside. I'm quite happy with that. 4 seconds. Very nice. So some of you may be wondering how this compares to my Z4. I can just imagine a few of you commenting that down below. So, I mean, really it doesn't compare to the Z4. It's a totally different car, and it's a different level of car as well. These things, I think, out here are around $70,000. So in fact, if you compared it to a new Z4 M40i, it's probably a similar price, but you can't get one of these in the UK anyway, certainly not right-hand drive. So yeah, it doesn't really compare to my Z4. It's totally different. If you're finding yourself coming out to the States, I strongly recommend renting one of these cars. This one was pretty affordable, and like I said earlier, they just do pretty much everything quite well. They're not, you know, it's not amazing, and you've got to put up with the fact that it's a rental car and it's not in the best of condition, but it is a very fun car to drive. It's got a good road presence. Driving around LA, people do look at these. They're not completely everywhere. In fact, you see more Lamborghini Huracans here than anything else. So I strongly implore you to rent one of these if you can when you come out to the States. Or if you get the chance to have a go in one, please do, because they are a lot of fun to drive. I certainly have enjoyed having this car this week, and I don't really want to give the keys back later on today. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions at all. I always try and make these videos relatively concise, so I don't normally put everything in. So if there's anything I've missed that you'd like to know, comment below and I'll answer that for you. Nonetheless, thank you so much for watching, and well, next time I see you guys, I'll be back on home turf in the UK, and I will see you very, very soon.
I've been scoring, cheap thrills bore me, blah blah, you bore me, caution, warning. I've been scoring.